People don't seem to get that point. You have any idea why, Charlie?
Warren, if people weren't so often wrong, we wouldn't be so rich.
No?
But those of you who are about to enter business school or who are there, I recommend you learn to do it our way, but at least until you're out of school, you have to pretend to do it their way.
Is China. When China copied Singapore and let the farmers own their own plots and let the manufacturers own their own businesses and so forth, China's productivity increased many times, and they went from rural poverty to modern extreme wealth, and they did it by adopting a fair amount of capitalism. Now, if a Democratic politician doesn't understand that, he's nuts.
Once in a while, traders go bearish, and that is okay. Here, you can see how Charlie Munger reminisces about his experiences of being down. He said that this is the third time that Warren and I have watched our Berkshire holdings decline by 50% from top tick to bottom tick. So, let us let a thing or two from Charlie himself. But before that,
Yeah, I think you would understand any presentation using the word EBITDA if every time you saw that word, you just substituted the phrase bullshit earnings.
what's up, bulls? Are you wondering what the best stock to buy is? Maybe you're asking yourself what is the current situation of the global economy, or just thinking about whether we are in a deep recession or not. Good for you. You are in the right channel, because that is what we discuss in Stockologists. If you are new, hit the like and subscribe button, and let us start the discussion. Going back to Charlie's experiences, he said that he believes it is inherent to long-term shareholding that by regular fluctuations and worldly results and markets, the quoted value of a long-term holder's shares falls by 10%. You could argue that if you're not willing to react with equanimity to a market price decline of 2 or 3%, 2 or 3 times a century, you're not fit to be a common shareholder. You deserve the mediocre result you will get compared to those with the temperament to be more philosophical about these market fluctuations. Now, that is a piece of tough advice. You can't eliminate all boom and bust from a capitalist economy, but they could be significantly dampened by prudent legislative action. And what happened in America was that the people profiting from a lack of wiser restraints gained more and more power by lobbying more and making larger and larger political contributions. They were aided by a certain ideological naivete that assumed that free markets worked well compared to communism. If no laws were restraining financial clout, they would work worse. Suppose you permit unrestricted sin and folly in finance, which dates back to the South Seas bubble. Without a system of wise limits, terrible immorality and extreme madness would occur in markets. In that case, sin and folly must be crushed. Charlie also added these: both parties' wings are filled with fools. It's the nature of the game. The reason it's worked so well, it's because the folks in the center have, over time, primarily tuned out the idiots on both sides. Nevertheless, everyone's in a while. The nature of the system is that idiots take charge, which of course has awful effects. We went too far with financial deregulation, and people were making so much money. And the economy was booming because of the dumb moronic expansion of consumer credit. Charlie also expressed that the next 3 weeks would be more enjoyable if you used addictive stuff, but it would destroy you in the long run. This is what an economy does when it allows itself to be seduced by the potential for craziness, allowing gross immorality and insanity to take over. Charlie even said how he remembered this one guy as the only person to have immediately called me a horse's ass. I'm embarrassed by my lack of foresight, he added. Alan Greenspan is talking that way, so in my book, he's a hero. And it is difficult at his age to look back on a career as distinguished as his, with as much success and adulation, and say, I was a horse's patoot. He's done that, so to me, he's a hero, and we need more people like him. Here is what Charlie thinks of Wall Street. He said, Wall Street gains and loses. I refer to this as a locker room culture. Some must win at football, soccer, or something similar. They're highly competitive. Whatever somebody does, they must be as good as or better than that. Of course, Warren and I don't have those compulsions, and I would want to live my life rather than theirs. They cause immense damage to the rest of us with their awful locker room mentality. We have to deal with things that we're able to comprehend. Subsequently, we must have a business with some intrinsic characteristic that give it a durable competitive advantage. We would also prefer a management team with great integrity and talent. Finally, no matter how wonderful it is, it's not worth an infinite prize. So, we must have a price that makes sense. Also, consider giving a margin of safety considering the natural business attitudes of life. That's a whole set of ideas. And the reason that our ideas have not spread faster is that they are too simple. Professional classes can justify their existence. Also, it is so apparent and straightforward. He is now regarding his most successful purchase, the Coca-Cola Company. This is what he has to say. When we purchased it, it was successful on numerous fronts and inexpensive compared to what was evidently going to occur. This was a significant insight. There are times when even a company as big as Coca-Cola is too cheaply priced by the market, considering what it will do for the shareholder. And there are times when we can figure that out, and sometimes we can't. And when we can figure it out, we tend to go in heavily for many months. We were buying as much Coca-Cola as we could buy. Charlie said that approximately a third of the volume traded every day for several months, so we were very aggressive in our Coca-Cola purchases. We have the mentality of someone who is buying the whole business at the price you would realize by multiplying the price we're paying per share by the number of outstanding shares. We want the price for the whole business to be calculated so that it appears very attractive. Therefore, we prefer buying individual shares at a lower price than a rational person would pay it if he could buy the whole business. Now, Charlie also talks about his friend and co-investor, Warren Buffett. He said Warren would have been a tremendous success if Charlie Munger had not existed. When asked how frequently do you talk to him, he answered, well, it was almost every day in the early days, but now it's maybe once a week. You can accomplish much more when you're given a strong hand than when you're starting with nothing. However, they won't be able to multiply money as quickly per share now that they are working with such large sums. Still, they will be able to establish a reputable institution that serves the more fantastic world. And finally, he said that he believes that Berkshire's contribution after Warren's death can dwarf his work while he was living. And I guess that is the end of this video. Comment below what you think of our topic. Let's start a discussion in the comment section. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. This will help us at Psychologist grow our channel even more. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.